Hello and happy day. It is Guy the Lion Warner, and I'm here with a presentation for you about a very controversial topic in education, and that is artificial intelligence. Is it innovation or is it interference? I personally believe that it is a bit of both, and we'll do some more exploring in just a second. So, when we define the controversy, the main issues are that AI tools are used for learning, writing, tutoring, grading, and content creation. Definitely a pro. But then the controversy is whether or not AI improves learning and equity, or does it undermine integrity and human centered education? I feel several ways about this, but the way that I will describe my journey through my own understanding of it is by asking this key question: should schools integrate AI while protecting authentic learning? Simple answer: absolutely. But here's why it's controversial. The academic integrity is always in the crosshairs because generative AI can produce essays and answers that appear to be written. The equity and access, a lot of times the higher end AIs cost money, and not every student might be able to afford the same degree of intelligence as opposed to other students that might have more financial access. There's also ethics and privacy issues when it comes to student data use, surveillance, bias, and transparency concerns. And these are things that we've seen already in social media and the internet before that. AI only sums all of these things up and then gives it a mind that can pretend to be human. So there's some issues already in there for me. And then that last controversial issues, the human roles, the fears of it replacing teacher judgment and relationships with automation. I personally believe that when it comes to human roles specifically, that it can never be us. AI can never be a human. I think that's the most beautiful thing about being human is that we're so unique and that we're so flawed, but then also so miraculous at the same time. It's hard or impossible to recreate the complexity of a human. But I think that's where we get into those academic issues where their students are relying too heavily on AI and not relying enough on their own humanity and their own experience and their own pursuit of knowledge and understanding. So, the first position, the first stance is that AI is a transformative tool. I mean, you can use it for personalized learning because it's an adaptive platform that tailors practice and pacing to student needs. You also get faster feedback. You don't have to wait for a teacher to read your entire thing and then give you back tailored criticism. You press enter, give it a couple seconds. AI is going to have the answer right there for you already. Also, accessibility. There's so many more translations, speech to text, and scaffolds for diverse learners because I don't know Spanish or Japanese or Hebrew, but the AI knows all of those different languages and can provide an even playing field for students of all backgrounds. And then it can also serve as a teacher support when it comes to planning, differentiation ideas, formative assessments, and just assistance in general. And the evidence and rationale for this integration is that there are improved outcomes when it is well designed. AI tutoring and adaptive systems can support learning gains. And for me personally, I'm a huge fan of etymology. So I'm always looking for the roots of words. I'm always looking for how things are connected way beyond what most people, at least in my area, might know. So a lot of teachers in my own building, yes, they might know some of the most common etymologies, but I'm looking for the etymologies of almost every single word, and they may not have that. But you know who does? AI. When it comes to data informed instruction, AI is a master at doing that, at compiling these kinds of informations from across many different places. And also, the truth is, the AI is here to stay until all the electricity goes down or is gone entirely. AI is going to be here. So, by incorporating AI into teaching and into their tools that they're allowed, you're preparing students for an AI rich world, and it's also very practical. I mean, it's we've made a lot of advances as humans, so why don't we take advantage of it? But then the other option, or the other position we can take is that AI is a threat. I mean, it is very hard to verify authorship and the learning process when you're just asking for results. Because again, kids can just do, type it up, press enter, their question, they give you this fully detailed answer sheet or essay or whatever it is, but you can't tell if that's what they learned or if that's what AI made. So cheating and plagiarism is a huge issue, and I've encountered it several times already during this year in language arts. And this is actually my biggest issue. Not gonna lie. Well, really, these next two issues are the primary concerns: skill erosion and cognitive offloading. And I would say that cognitive offloading is as a result, or rather, skill erosion comes as a result of cognitive offloading by giving these particular tasks, these very basic tasks to AI, we atrophy. We lose our own ability to come up with either original ideas or to be creative in our own sense whenever we hit that impediment of what should I do? Already directing that to AI doesn't allow us to sharpen that very skill. Because of that, we're not sharpening that skill. The skill itself is eroding, reducing writing fluency, problem solving, and persistence in a general sense. This is not one of my biggest issues, but it's still a major issue when it comes to bias and misinformation because AI is making things look really, really real. And it's since it's mastered language and persuasion and all these things, it can make fake information seem very real, and models can hallucinate, mirror bias, and also mislead students. So broader viewpoints and tensions. I mean, we're not all in the same boat. Teachers and schools are divided as a whole. Some adopt AI with guardrails, others restrict it entirely. In my school, they allow teachers to use it, but they prohibit it for students. And also, policy lags behind the technology, especially the nature of AI. It rapidly evolves. So by the time we have a policy for it, it's already changed. Something else has already been modified or upgraded. So now we have to address policy and then re-implement, and then by that point the technology is already in a new state, and so on and so forth. There are a lot of ethical gray areas as well when it comes to authorship, fairness, disability supports, and just transparency as a whole. There's a lot of things that can go under the radar or are unaddressed, and because of this total access to knowledge, a lot of students don't have to ingest and retain it. Now we have to redesign what assessments look like and shift more towards process based oral, in class, and portfolio assessments as opposed to just, did you get the answer right? It used to be that. We can't rely on that anymore now that we have a technology that can instantly give you the answer. This is how I feel. AI should augment, not replace human teaching and learning. Teachers remain essential as mentors and ethical guides for our young students. We should teach responsible use explicitly. It shouldn't be like, well, I mean, maybe you shouldn't plagiarize, but like it should be very direct with our eyes set on the potential threats of this technology and make sure that we're addressing it directly. And when it comes to authentic learning, we can use AI to make learning more personal and find a way to relate such key information in a way that'll relate best for the student. And AI might really assist in that way. And then also, we know that equity matters. We have to ensure access and provide alternatives so that AI doesn't widen the gaps between different kinds of intelligence and different kinds of student bodies, but rather allows that area of total learning and total access to knowledge to be evenly distributed throughout schools, throughout the nation. So, in conclusion, this controversy reflects deeper questions about what counts as learning and how we assess it. AI can expand opportunity and support if used transparently and ethically. And, we know that ongoing dialogue and adaptive policy are going to be necessary as these tools evolve. Thank you so much. It is an honor to have shared this with you today.